But many of you are probably familiar with first-party data, and that's data that you get from your own website. So if you're a manufacturer and someone comes to your site, researches your product, you can then re-advertise to that consumer later after they leave your site. That's called retargeting. I'm sure most of you have heard of retargeting, and that's using your own first-party data. But you're probably also familiar with what's called third-party data. And what third-party data is if you hire a second party, another company, an advertising company, to find consumers that fall within a particular group of shoppers. Okay, so that in essence is third party. You're purchasing packaged audience segments from an aggregator of data on your behalf. Right? So those are the two different ones that are typical that you see that people use in the world of digital advertising and display. Now, there's problems with that. Now, they're both good. You should, as advertisers, be using both first-party data to target your own customers and third-party data to go out and find customers who maybe fall into a particular category, like new moms or new home shoppers or car buyers, things like that. But there are issues. The issues with first-party data is that it's scale and reach. What do I mean by scale and reach? It means that if you keep talking to your same customer over and over again, number one, it's a limited base of people that you can speak to. And then from a reach perspective, you're only talking to the same customers. So that's kind of not programmatic, it's problematic when it comes to consumer electronics, right? Because if you're let's say you're a TV manufacturer and you're selling to consumers, but you probably only sell a TV to a consumer once every, let's say, 5 years, or maybe even a little longer if you're selling the main TV. So if you keep talking to that same consumer after they purchase that TV from you, then you're really not finding new customers. You're really kind of talking to someone who's already your customer, which is great, you should do that too, but you're not going to get new business that way. So reach and scale are two of the issues with first-party data. Third-party data, and again, what's third-party data? It's hiring another company to find an audience segment for you. Again, it's important to do that, but there are issues. One is limited transparency, or sometimes no transparency, which that means is that you may not know where that data is coming from. You're kind of blind to hearing, like if someone says, I'm going to find you TV buying intenders, meaning television intenders, you might not know where they're finding those television intenders, so it's a little bit non-transparent. And then you can't get very granular with it. You can't delve down, like if I want to find a very specific consumer looking for a particular brand of a specific audio or television or video product, you can't really do that using third-party data. And because of that, it's not unique. Everyone's using the same data, so there are lots of different companies vying for the same, let's say, television intender data. So you're competing for the same customer and also talking to the same customer over and over again. And because you're competing for the same customer, you're also probably paying a little bit more because of competition, right? If there are multiple companies saying, I want access to these customers, then they're going to be competing with each other, and then the prices are most likely going to go up. So what do? You look at a new form of data targeting called second-party data. What's second-party data? It's when, let's say, a retailer gets access to consumers who have shopped on a manufacturer's website. So it's not first party. You're not going to talk to people that have been on your site before, but you're talking to someone who's been on someone else's website. So as an example, it would be someone like LG, who's a customer of ours, working with someone like H.H. Gregg, who's also a customer of ours, and saying, hey, H.H. Gregg, you can have access to consumers who've been to my website. When they leave my site, you have the ability to advertise them, bring them back to H.H. Gregg in order to buy an LG television, right? So that's called second-party data. And Forrester had recently come out with a study last fall that said that content marketers share data to close the loop between research and sales. So if you're familiar with the purchase funnel, right, where it's awareness up here and purchase on the bottom, what you're doing is closing the funnel, meaning you're talking to someone who's already been on a website of a manufacturer looking at a product and saying, hey, come to my retail store or come to my site and buy this product. Many times that advertising might come with an offer to say like, hey, come in this weekend. We know, say we know you looked at a television, but you know they looked at a television. Come in this weekend and we'll give you 10% off if you buy from H.H. Gregg this Saturday, right? So it gives you granularity, it gives you more granularity than first party, and it gives you much more reach than you would get from first party data, which is using your own customer database.